My favorite thing about stand-up comedy now is people pretend we're deep. It's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
You need to be funny. The
Right.
entire job is be funny.
Right.
There is not any other thing about it. It's the simplest art form on earth is make people laugh by any way you need to do it, figure it out. But you don't got to make them think. It doesn't have to be fucking poignant. And some people can do it. Right.
Yeah,
Their acts stink. That's the thing. It's like their acts are mediocre at best, and you don't grow if you fucking. And here's the other thing. And we'll stop talking about comedy soon. We just, because I don't want to be one of those podcasts that overdoes it, but like, you exist against something, and it's like, what do you have to say? Like all the people who talk about free speech, and I think you should be able to, I'm a huge free speech guy, obviously,
right.
But you need something to say.
Yeah.
And you should be able to say the most offensive things for a reason, not just because you're bombing, and if you say hard, it'll get a laugh. That's not a joke. Yeah, that's literally not a joke.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
What's this notion of like you just want to do comedy in a vacuum where there's no repercussions, where it's just like say whatever you want, and we can't even, because it's like you say free speech, it's like we don't want you arrested. We just want to not laugh,
just to say you're bombing in a fucking
that's
hack.
It. Right.
You are that.
Like you want freedom from that?
Yeah. I know.
I can't say you're bombing in a fucking hack.
You want to be respected, but you suck at comedy.
Hey y'all, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We're back, and look, they have some valid points here, right? To just use words because you're bombing is one thing. To yell out the R word just because the room's not doing well, or the F word, or even yelling out the N word just for the sake of getting a laugh, is that hack? Absolutely. Are there some bits where you're talking about R words or gay people, or if you're in those moments, sometimes those words hit harder than not. I believe that you should be able to say whatever you want to say without repercussions. I'm from, I guess in my era, we don't really let that shit bother us. Like, you say it, I'm like, I don't want to be around you. Now, I know some other guys that'll bust your shit wide open. I know some guys will put fist to mouth simply for you saying a word, but I'm from an era of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will, Negro. You get it. This is what I grew up on. So you can say whatever you want, and I know people are like, ain't no going by disrespect. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. So you can say whatever you want to say. I think we get into this feeling that there should be consequences for the things you say. And I think there's a thing called karma, and that does happen. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, we'll take your money away, we'll take your livelihood away, we'll take whatever. That's not okay. From words, I think that's a little bit extreme. Let's see what else we got. I've heard that happen before, right? I've heard individuals not doing well and using slurs or making fun of the disabled is an easy laugh, right? So I've seen that happen before, but I've also seen people use it in a clever and funny way. So I can't agree with Stavros on a lot of this. You know, some of the stuff that he's saying is okay, but listen, to say you're for free speech and then say, but there should be consequences, are you really for free speech? Don't get me wrong, you got a group of comedians that just do hack shit, and that's part of comedy, right? We're always going to have some of those hack comedians. And comedy is subjective. That's what I've learned too, is like, what I may think is hacky, somebody may love. My mom does not like slapstick comedy. I think it's funny. The two age gap difference, right? It's an age gap difference. But there is room for everyone. But what I do like about comedy is that you can move the needle. We are like the philosophers of our time. And why I say that is like we talk about things that are happening within in the United States. Like when you listen to Dave Chappelle, you're gonna get a history lesson. Possibly you'll get some information that you may not even have known. You listen to Shane Gillis, he's gonna give you a history lesson. These comedians have learned how to transcend comedy and not just fart jokes and racial slurs and disabled jokes, right? They've learned how to make people think, try to help to change the narrative of what the way we see the world. That's comedy to me. Don't get me wrong, the fart jokes and all that stuff, cool. But Dick Gregory and Paul Mooney and comedians that are changing the guard, Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, these are comedians that I look at and I say they tried to help humanity. So for Stavro to be like, oh, all we need is just to be funny, that is not true. We need the modern day philosophers to help change the world. So I disagree on that end. We need people like Dave to make us sit back and say, why are we tripping over a trans when we have bigger fish to fry? Like these are small fries, and no pun intended, compared to the issues that we have. The when Dave dropped the thing about the amount of time that the policeman had his knee on the neck, like this, it still was parts of it that you could chuckle at, but for the most part, it was for the better of humanity. So I believe that those things come hand in hand. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all just want your jokes? I want my fart jokes. I want my racial jokes and go about my day. Or do you like those jokes that make you think, that tug at your heartstrings or your morals and values and able to make you look at things in a different light? I'm more biased to one side than the fart jokes and the racial jokes, but that's just me. I know that comedy is subjective, so you tell me what you think in the comments. I'll holler at y'all the next one. You know what it is.
Until we meet again.